Nerd alert! Learning is important, right?
Yes, exactly.
What a bunch of nerds.
Nerd alert!
Right. Hello, and welcome to The Marketing Architects, a research-first podcast dedicated to answering your toughest marketing questions. I'm Elena Hingle. I run the marketing team here at Marketing Architects, and I'm joined by my co-host, Rob DeMars, the Chief Product Architect of Misfits and Machines.
Hello, Elena.
We're back with your weekly Nerd Alert. Every week, I'll take a deep dive into academic marketing research and translate its complex ideas into simple, understandable language for Rob, and of course, for all of you. Are you ready to nerd out, Rob?
I am. My brain is open. I'm ready to absorb and to learn and to be a better person after this podcast. So let's do this.
Let's get into it. So as always, I'll link the research we cover in the episode notes, and I encourage everyone to go and read this yourself. This one is an ungated report, and it's pretty interesting. This week, I reread Behavioral Advertising and Consumer Welfare, an empirical investigation by Eduardo Schnaunadauer Moostri from Carnegie Mellon, Idris Jared from the Pamplin College of Business, Alessandro Acquisti, also from Carnegie Mellon.
I can't say Carnegie Mellon properly, so.
I was honestly impressed with myself when I said it the right way the first time. So this is a recent study. It was published by the Social Science Research Network in 2023. And no pressure, Rob, we've actually covered this study before in a long ago podcast episode about digital targeting. But it's so interesting, I thought that it deserved its own Nerd Alert episode. So this study, it's about the value of behavioral advertising, which to start, I thought it'd be helpful to define that. I think it's important to start there because there's a lot of confusion about the different kinds of targeting available to marketers online. So in the report itself, the authors use micro-targeting and targeted ads interchangeably for behavioral advertising, but most marketers wouldn't bucket these together. Lots of different kinds of ads are targeted, from contextual targeting to demographic targeting to IP address targeting. Behavioral targeting is different, and behavioral advertising is defined in this study as the practice of showing ads to users based on their previous browsing behavior. It relies on extensive online tracking and algorithms to automate ad targeting, trying to match consumers with products they're likely to be interested in. This form of advertising has raised privacy concerns, but it's also argued to provide economic value by potentially reducing consumer search costs and offering more relevant ads to all of us, which are typically believed to lead to higher click-through rates compared to non-targeted ads. However, these researchers start off by claiming that the value consumers receive from behavioral advertising has not been empirically demonstrated. It's been talked about a lot, and we've seen dozens of articles that claim behavioral advertising helps better match us to products we want to buy. But most of the empirical work on the effectiveness of behavioral advertising has been measured in terms of clicks or conversion rates, not actual benefits to the end customer. So they set up two online within subject experiments. They called them Study 1 and Study 2, and they were designed to assess some of the consumer welfare implications of behaviorally targeted ads. They had about 1,000 participants and over 7,000 data points across 3 subject conditions. Essentially, they're trying to measure the extent to which these behaviorally targeted ads really benefit the customer. What's the quality of the products these ads are pushing? How often are they from brands the consumer is totally unaware of? And how does their price compare to other products that a consumer might find online? Both studies were designed the same way. First, they asked participants to browse random websites and provide the researchers the URLs of the ads they saw. So that would be the URL that the ad then led to. Then the researchers used automated scripts and searched Google to find comparable products to what they clicked on. Then, a week later, participants were shown products from the ads they had seen, plus the comparable products that came from more organic search results. For each, researchers took note of objective metrics like price and third-party data on the quality of the vendor, plus self-reported metrics from the participants, which included things like relevance and product quality. Then they used these results to evaluate consumer welfare effects by comparing all the metrics. So what did they find? Both the ads and organic search results are dominated by just a few vendors. However, the ads were more likely to contain less popular, less familiar vendors. That means that those ads, for the most part, were helping smaller brands reach consumers. Second, purchase intent was higher in the ad and search conditions, driven by higher product relevance. However, average product relevance was low across all the conditions. So products found from ads and search were more relevant than products found randomly, but still not highly relevant to participants overall. And third, the behaviorally targeted ads in both studies were more likely to be associated with lower quality vendors and higher prices when comparing identical products relative to competing alternatives found in search results. And that's a really important part because it debunks the idea that these behavioral ads are worth it because they're presenting us with better products. And Rob, I went ahead and I asked ChatGPT to explain these findings to me like I was a high schooler. So I got you here.
Oh, thank you.
And here's what I got. Imagine you're shopping online and you start seeing ads for stuff you've recently searched for. This study found that even though those ads show you more relevant stuff, making you more likely to buy, they don't really make you better off because the ads often come from sellers who charge more or sell lower quality stuff compared to what you just searched for, compared to what you'd find if you search for the product yourself. So even though it feels like these ads might be helping by showing you things you're interested in, they might not be the best deals or the best quality you could find.
Now, how does that compare to then contextual targeting?
Well, the big difference would be that behavioral targeting depends on cookies and tracking you around the internet, where contextual targeting, you don't need any type of data like that. You're just buying based on genre. So if I'm selling running shoes, I could just buy on sites that have, running publications. So you don't need to track people. You don't need to know what they were browsing or what they were doing.
Yeah, I'm so glad you did this one because this is one of those where we did do a podcast on this before and I will always forget. It's like the behavioral, contextual, there's so many different micro, it's confusing.
I think it's a fun one. And when I shared this on LinkedIn a while ago, when I first read it, I was surprised by the big reaction to it. Like, I think a lot of people weren't aware of it. Like, that's why I'm glad we're talking about it on the podcast, because I think more marketers should be aware of just like the consumer implications of it. And I think that marketers probably won't give up behavioral targeting themselves. Like, it's just become such a part of what we do. But I think that the government is going to care more about this because this is more about the consumer. Like, the argument has been, hey, we track you, we know what you're doing, but it's for your own good because we're going to give you things that are more relevant. It's kind of proving, at least the way that it is right now, you're not actually getting better stuff.
Not true. It's a big myth.
Yeah.
Right.
That's it for this episode of The Marketing Architects. We'd like to thank Ayana Klaphocky for producing the show and Taylor De Los Reyes for editing. You can connect with us on LinkedIn, and if you find the show valuable, please leave us a rating and review. And if you'd like to hear more from us, subscribe to our weekly email newsletter. It's built for marketers seeking research-first analysis of the latest trends. You can go to marketingarchitects.com/newsletter to subscribe. Now go forth and build great marketing.
You know what? I'm probably going to need this one again in like 6 months. So can we put it on the calendar and just revisit it again?
I don't know if we can do that for all of them. It's just going to be the same content.